everyone. We are the Group 6 and we are here to report solar energy and wind energy. So, solar energy is the radiant light and heat from the sun that is harnessed using a range of ever-evolving technologies such as solar heating, photovoltaic, and etc. So, obviously, yung solar energy, ito yung energy na nakukuha from the sun through solar panels. And solar energy has two characteristics. First is active solar heating. Active solar heating, ito yung method na it requires mechanical power. It requires mechanism. It requires machines to work. And isa sa pinaka-major na ingredient para gumana yung active solar heating is the photovoltaic cells. So, pinaka-common na example ng active solar heating is the flat plate collector. So, ito yung tsura ng flat plate collector where ito yung metal na nasa loob. Where ito yung makakapag-ano na electricity. And this is the glass na where the light will reflect. Then, once na ano dito yung light, since metal ngayon dito, i-convert niya na yung light na nakuha na from the sun into electricity. So, yun nga, kakasabi ko lang kanila, isa sa mga pinakamalagang ingredient for the active solar heating is a photovoltaic cells. Photovoltaic cells, also known as solar cells, it's an energy harvesting technology that converts solar energy into useful electricity through a process called the photovoltaic effect. So, di ba pag nakikita kayo ng mga solar panels, nakikita nyo yung ganito? Yes. So, yung nakikita nyo yung parang may box, yung mga white, yun yung photovoltaic cells. So, sila yung mismong nagko-convert ng light into electricity. So, there are several types of PV cells which lahat sila gumagamit ng semiconductors. However, iba-iba yung quality na produce nila. So dito, meron silang tatlong types, silicon, compound, and organic. And under silicon is crystal and thin film. So under ng crystal, merong monocrystal and polycrystal. So yung monocrystal, out of all of them, siya yung pinakamahal. At the same time, siya yung nakapag-produce ng pinakamagandang quality. So like, for example, sa Wi-Fi, siya yung may pinakamabilis na Mbps. So yun lang yung disadvantage niya. Since sobrang ganda ng quality niya, sobrang mahal niya din. Unlike sa polycrystal, it's affordable. However, yung quality na napoproduce niya isn't that good as monocrystal. And then yung sa thin film, hindi katulad nung dito, sa monocrystal and polycrystal, para siyang glass. And yung quality na napoproduce niya is lower than monocrystal and polycrystal. The same with the others. Iba, mas mababa na yung quality na napoproduce nila, unlike dito sa dalawang crystals na to. At the same time, yung mga pressure nitong mga solar panel, itong mga photovoltaic cells na to, is lower than the crystals. So, the other type of characteristics of solar energy is the passive solar heating. Unlike dun sa active solar, it requires mechanism. The passive solar heating, it doesn't require mechanism. Ito yung method of heating with solar energy that does not require mechanical power to circulate heat. Instead, structural designs are used that help to absorb solar energy and allow the heat to circulate by natural convection. So for example, mag-architect ka. Kung gusto mo makapag-absorb ng heat or something like that, kailangan kunwari, for example, yung windows, nakatapat kung saan yung araw. Nakatapat din dapat yung building nakatapat din, hindi siya natatapat ng other buildings. So, ito yung dalawang primary elements of passive solar heating, which is the south-facing glass and the thermal mass. And one of the goals ng passive solar heating is to absorb, store, and distribute heat. So, at the same time, kunwari, for example, yung window, nakatapat siya sa araw, hindi lang itong place na to yung maano ng araw. Hindi lang yun yung place na merong heat. Dapat for example, yung buong room na yun, dapat makakapag-distribute siya ng heat evenly. So under solar energy is the concentrated solar power. It is also called concentrated solar thermal. It is a technology that uses mirrors or heliostats to concentrate sunlight into a tube or tiny spot, which in turn converts the light into heat. Instead of using that heat directly, as do solar thermal collectors, these systems utilize it to power a steam engine connected to a power generator. So, kung yung kanina solar panels, ito yung sa mirrors. Diba minsan pag sa mirror or for example sa watch, diba meron nare-reflect na light? Yun yung concentrated solar power. Instead of using mechanisms or instead of using architecture, they use mirrors. And sa history, yung ancient Greece ang unang gumamit ng concentrated solar power, where Archimedes in 214-212 BC, gumamit siya ng bronze shields, and yung light nag-reflect dun sa Roman ships, where in the story, nasunod yung Roman ships na yun, and they won dun sa fight na yun. Tapos kay Dr. Ioannis Sakas naman, noong 1973, pinalay niya yung Greek sailors, and then, along dun sa Greek sailors, meron silang mga bronze-coated na mirrors, where they used that tactic again, na yung light nag-reflect dun sa boat, at nasunog ulit yung boat. So, yung mga Greeks, they mainly used it as a defense mechanism. So, types of concentrated solar power technologies is a parabolic through fresh reflectors, mirrors, and so in parabolic through, the CSP systems are the most developed currently and consist in parabolic reflectors that concentrate light into linear receivers. The receivers are positioned exactly in the middle of the parabola and contain a fluid that gets heated by sunlight to power the generator. They incorporate trackers so that the system follows the sun for maximum exposure. So sa lahat ng apat na under nung CSP technologies, ito yung pinaka-recent na ginagawa ngayon since may tracker na nga siya para masundan yung sun so it can absorb heat. Tapos yung fresh reflector, several flat mirror strips are combined to concentrate sunlight into the tubes where the liquid flows. Flat mirrors are less expensive than parabolic ones, making these systems cheaper. So, unlike dito sa parabolic, since may trackers to, mas mahal to. But, unlike dito sa fresh reflectors, mas maganda yung quality na mapoproduce niya since nasusundan niya nga yung araw. So, it will get more energy from the sun. Tapos yung mirror, as what I said earlier, ito yung mga parabolic dish surface to concentrate sunlight on a receiver fixed at a focal point. In contrast to the other CSP technologies that employ steam to create electricity on a turbine, a dish engine system uses a working fluid such as hydrogen that is heated up to 1,200 degrees Fahrenheit in the receiver to drive an engine such as a Stirling engine. Each dish rotates along two axes to drive the sun. And lastly, yung solar tower. Solar towers tracking reflectors point to a single tower containing a fluid such as seawater that is used for heat generation. At any time, the reflectors can be moved without having to modify the tower's position, which is an advantage of this system. So, etong dalawa, they also have a tracking device, but unlike dun sa parabolic spoon, it doesn't exactly follows the sun. Iba yung system nung tracker. And lastly, yung solar power in the Philippines. Even though it may not sound true or something like that, pero Philippines is actually number 1 among developing nations in Asia as far as the utilization of sunlight based on photovoltaic frameworks for power age as indicated by a Dutch consulting firm. Isa sa mga rason kung bakit position number 1, as you can see, let's say you travel sa mga province. Tapos like makikita nyo sa doon, di ba may mga bahay. And makikita nyo sa mga roof nila, ang daming solar panels. For example, in Baler or in Palawan, madami kang makikita na sa mga bubong nila, even though kahit bahay kubo lang, ang daming solar panels na nakakabit since yun yung source of electricity nila. And here we have picture before. This is with energy.
Wind energy is the most mature and developed renewable energy. So, ang wind energy, nag-generate tayo ng electricity through wind by using the kinetic energy produced by the effect of air currents. So, ang ginagamit natin para makaproduce ng electricity through wind energy is wind turbine. Yun nga, yan. Sorry. Nag-generate tayo ng electricity from kinetic power of the wind through wind turbine. Ang unang naka-build nun ay si Professor James Blitt in Scotland around 1850s. Una niyang ginamit ito para i-light yung cottage niya. Tapos, sinubukan niyang i-offer to sa local villagers para i-light yung main street. Pero, nireject niya lang kasi they believe that electricity was the work of the devil. So, after a few months, dun dumating si Charles F. Brush. He was the one to build, he built the first known US wind turbine for electricity. So, ika-clarify ko lang, ang unang naka-build talaga ay si Professor James, hindi si Charles. Kasi pagka sinerge niyo, ang unang lalabas si Charles. Pero hindi siya yung unang naka-build. Nagkakaroon lang ng misconception kasi ilang months lang yung difference nila. So, yun lang, okay. Tapos yung ni Charles, siya, it has 144 blades made of cedar wood and about 1,800 square feet of surface area. So, ito yung itsura ganito yung itsura niya. Ganyan yun. Malaki oh. Mas malaki siya compared dun sa modern na wind turbine natin. Kaya siya mas lalong medyo nagkaroon ng sa public na ano yan, bakit ganyan, ano yan, parang yun. Pero na-accept siya after a few months. So ito yung modern wind turbine. So nag-work siya, yung wind, i-turn niya yung turbine. Tapos pagka na yung blades na spin na, doon na mag-aano yung generators, mag-create na siya ng electricity. Tapos pupunta siya dito sa transformer. Mag-i-increase niya yung voltage. Tapos, yun na yun. Doon na naano yung electricity. Tapos i-distribute na siya sa mga homes. So, wind energy in the Philippines. Wind turbines are helping the Philippines diversify its energy source beyond fossil fuels, and generating not only power but jobs and interest among thousands of tourists. So, ang effect ng wind energy in the Philippines, nag-a-attract yun ng mga tourists sa Philippines. Katulad ng sa Ilocos, di ba tourist spot na siya. Kasi nga dun sa daming wind turbine, naging ano, tapos din lang siya nagbibigay din siya ng jobs sa mga ibang mga Pilipino kasi 'di ba yung mga keychains, yung mga binebenta para souvenir dun sa lugar na yun.
Environmental impacts of wind and solar energy. Advantages and disadvantages of wind energy. Yung advantage niya is pollution free siya and yung wind, di ba, nasa ano naman siya, so free lang siya and infinite. Then it doesn't require fuel, it doesn't create greenhouse gases, and it doesn't produce toxic or radioactive. And in disadvantage siya is it has a threat to wildlife because di ba yung mga birds nasa taas sila, then mamatay sila dahil sa wind turbines. Then pwede sila sumabit sa wind turbine. Noise and aesthetic pollution. Wind turbines generate noise and a wind turbine can be heard 100 meters away. So, makaka-affect rin siya sa mga magkakalapit na bahay sa wind turbine. Then, wind side, it will cause problems to developers who will spend their money and time finding a good site suitable for generating wind power. Yung pagkakabit ng wind turbine is hindi siya madali kasi maghanap ka pa ng magandang site for generating. Advantages and disadvantages of solar energy. Advantages, it will reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Using solar energy does not emit greenhouse gases, although emissions can result from the production and installation of solar technology. Human health and safety. The technology can also cut down on noise pollution associated with energy generation. Photovoltaic solar installations are essentially silent, and they are considered safe for humans to operate and unlikely to produce dangerous amounts of radiation. Disadvantages, land use. Yung pagkakabit ng solar energy is nagdedepende din siya sa location, kagaya ng wind power. Hazardous materials. The PV cell manufacturing processes includes a number of hazardous materials, most of which are used to clean and purify the semiconductor surface. And workers also face risks associated with inhaling silicon dust. Air pollution. Solar cells do not emit any substances to the air during operation, but there could be some emissions during manufacturing and transport. The emissions associated with the transport of the molecules are insignificant when compared with the emissions associated with the manufacturing.
So that's all for our report regarding wind and solar energy.